Actually, Philippines and Nigeria don't really have much similarities in terms of culture, tradition, greeting, respect, and also dressing and way of life, and just generally the way they actually do things. Yo, what's up guys, and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. My name is Kanu Chinedu Praise. As you can see by the title of the video, I'm going to be giving the similarities between Nigeria and the Philippines. So I want you guys to really stay tuned and enjoy this video. But before I continue, if you know this is your first time watching my video, or probably you have been watching my video for a very long time and you've forgotten to subscribe, and you like the content in which I upload on my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing. Turn on your notification bell so that you can be able to get future videos when I upload. And also don't forget to smash the like button, and also don't forget to comment on what you really think about this video. So without no further ado, I want you guys to really stay tuned and enjoy the video. Number one, Nigeria and the Philippines, we both have respect for elderly people, and we actually value respect very well. Like, I've been in situations where I've been, commuting from, whether with the train station, or maybe I'm in the bus, or probably I'm in the jeepney, and a Filipino, a young Filipino sees an elderly person, sitting, or maybe he or she is standing. I've seen situations where the younger Filipino guy, stand up for the elderly person to sit. And also, in some places where, like here in Manila, if you are traveling, they actually have a specific or a special place for senior citizens to sit down. And also in the mall, like the Pure Gold, like Robinsons, and other places, where you can buy some things, they actually have a place and avenue where they give senior citizens a place to sit down. And also the same too in Nigeria. Also, I won't say in Nigeria we don't really have places where senior citizens sit down, or maybe a special place where the elderly people actually sit down. But in terms of respect, situation where maybe you might be commuting, or probably you might be on the queue. I've seen situations where maybe a younger Nigerian guy or a younger Nigerian girl is sitting down, and there's another person standing. I've seen situations where they stand up for that elderly person to sit. And also I've done that also here in the Philippines and also back in Nigeria. So in terms of respect for elderly people, I would say Philippines actually have a very strong respect, and also Nigeria has a very strong respect for elderly people. Like in my own country, if you want to greet an elderly person, in my country we also have different tradition, and we also greet in different way. But in my own province, or probably in my own barangay, or in my own local government, we prostrate to the ground, and the lady actually trying to squat and greet. But here in the Philippines, they give this blessing. They call it bless. I don't know, they call it bless here in the Philippines. So in terms of similarities when it comes to respect, I would say the both countries have really strong respect for elderly people. And secondly, here in the Philippines, we have the lighter skin, and we have the tan skin, and we have the dark tan skin. And also in Nigeria, we also have lighter skin, but they are not so much compared to the dark. Like here in the Philippines, they are more of like the lighter complexion compared to the dark complexion. But in Nigeria, we have the lighter skin, which is at a very small percentage, and also the darker skin at a very high percentage. So if I try to see the similarities, I would say there are actually not much similarities, because my dad is actually a very light guy. He's light skin also, and my mom also is a dark skin. And also here in the Philippines, you can also find the light skin, you can also find the dark skin, you can find the tan skin, and you can find all types of complexion here in the Philippines, due to the fact that the Philippines were actually colonized by different countries. So I guess that might be one of the reasons why they have different race or different complexion. But why in our country, I think it has to do with DNA. We have people who are very light, even more lighter than some Filipinos who are actually who are lighter here in the Philippines. So in terms of complexion, in Nigeria we have just few percentage of light complexion people compared to the blacks. But here in the Philippines, we have dark complexion, and also we have light complexion, we have tan complexion. So they are more of like on 50, 60, 70% interval. Let me use that word. So in terms of complexion, there are actually no complexion, because I actually thought that when you come to the Philippines, everybody's actually light. But when I traveled and I tried to explore around the Philippines, I got to find that there are actually dark people. We have the Ayita people, we have the Bajau people, and we have the Austronesian, the Polynesians, like different races that are actually represented here in the Philippines. And number 3, in Nigeria, traditionally we use hand to eat. And also, when I came to the Philippines, I thought they actually use spoon based on the Western civilization mindset. But also, I got to understand that there are also some places in the Philippines that actually use hand to eat. Like, I've been in places where they've actually told me you need to use hand to eat. And, traditionally, before the Western and before the Europeans came, the major form of eating, we use hand. You have to wash your hand first before you start eating. Like in our country, even at this point in time, there are so many places you actually go to that it's really very required of you to use hand to eat. Like if you're eating a okra soup and you're eating a goosey soup, and even sometimes if you're eating rice, you wash your hand and you eat. And also here in the Philippines, there are some places, even some food that is really mandatory for you to use hands to eat. Like there's this, I don't know, there's this food that, you bring, it's on a leaf, it's like a plantain leaf or banana leaf, and you put your rice and you put your fish, your pork and everything, and you use your hand to eat that. And also situation where even I've seen some Filipino using hands to eat chicken curry with rice. So in terms of similarities in eating, I won't say there are actually I won't say there are much similarities, because if it's not the Western civilization, maybe the Western mindset, or maybe before the American came to colonize our country, the Philippines, I mean the major form of eating, if we could remember, is just using hands. So in terms of eating, we actually respect traditions, and some places in the Philippines still practice using hand to eat. And also even at the moment, even in Nigeria and even some places in Africa, we also use hands to eat. Number 4, Nigeria and the Philippines are very, very religious. Like in Nigeria, we have the Christian religion, we have the Islamic religion, and also we have the traditional religion. Same as here in the Philippines, they also have the Christian religion, the traditional religion, and the Islamic religion. And also based on exactly what they're like, Philippines, they're not that too religious, but they're very religious compared to our country. Like in our country, in every block or every place you go to, there is always a church and there is always a mosque. Compared to here in the Philippines, that for you to actually go to church, you need to commute to go to your respective church, or maybe probably you're going to the mosque. But in terms of religion, we really value religion very, very well. Like every Sunday, every Filipino, they go to church. And also in Nigeria, when it's Sunday and Friday, the Muslim, they go to their mosque. And also the Christians, they go to their church, or maybe their respective prayer place, I don't know. And finally, in Nigeria and in the Philippines, they don't call their elderly people, or maybe their elderly brother, by their names. Like in my country, you don't just call your dad by his name, or you don't just call your elder brother by his name. You call him either brother Praise, or brother Chinedu, or brother Kanu, or brother Kiano. But here in the Philippines, they call it ate, like ate Prince, ate Tessie, ate Cindy, ate Priscilla. And also if you have an elderly brother, probably you have an elderly sister, an elderly nephew, elderly cousin, they call them ate or maybe kuya. So in terms of respect, in terms to elderly people, the both country have a very, very strong respect for their elderly cousin, elderly brother, elderly sister, and so on and so forth. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys really learned something from this video. So before I go, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you can be able to get future videos as I upload. And also don't forget to smash the like button, and also don't forget to comment on what you really think about this video. So without no further ado, I want you guys to stay tuned, take care of yourself, try and be safe, wash your hands, maintain social distancing, and without no further ado, I want you guys to take care of yourself and ingat.